Welcome back with another banger. It's the React Files. Hope you're having a good night. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell,
just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So let's get straight to it.
This is a photo that came from the dark web. A lot of people believe that this woman has some kind of illness because of her skin. But come to find out, she's actually a draconian alien. The reason why I'm speaking about this topic because a lot of people have it confused about these aliens and what they really mean to this planet. What if I told you they are not the real aliens, but we are? You ever ask yourself, why do these aliens have all this advanced technology? They can travel the universe, they can travel to the deep oceans, and we can't do nothing? It's because this is really their planet. The reason why I'm speaking about this topic is because I see the Las Vegas alien story just came back up once again, and they said these aliens was using cloak technology. They can do more than that. We have some people that ask this question right here. If these aliens is so advanced, why do they hide from us when they see us? That's an easy question to answer. Do you see the cows, the birds, the pigs, the chickens, people? Do you see what people do to other life forms on this planet? Shit, I hide too if I see people coming. 2024 is the year of exposing everything. You see what's going on with Hollywood celebrities? Everything is being exposed. That's real small because once these aliens start coming out, it's going to blow your mind. Let me tell you something. If you look at this image and say, oh my God, that's an alien, just know, when they look at us, they say, oh my God, that's an alien. It's no difference.
Came from the dark web. Shout out to Organic Like Us, the Draconians. We've been hearing about them. She look like she's fed up. Like if this is true, she's tired of hiding and the fighting and the planet going to crap. It's almost poetic. They say the eyes are the gateway to the soul. It starts with respecting everyone as a conscious being.
You know why I wasn't going to? Because my feet were getting
You should
hot.
just jump in right now.
But I'm gonna jump in with my shoes on.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah, ready?
Oh! I can't swim! I can only float!
Oh, she might literally die.
No, stop. Seriously, don't stop. Please, you're actually freaking me out. No, please.
I think you literally just murdered a lady.
No, I didn't. I swear.
I think you
No,
literally...
I didn't. Let's go.
Yeah, that was straight dirty to the 18th decimal. Yo, that's sad. She left that lady all by herself. I hope that lady survived. I'm sure she did.
Y'all are not going to believe what I'm about to tell you, but I'll tell you anyways. So what would y'all say if I told you that this was not a real fish? Take it in for a minute. No, I'm not crazy. I'm about to show you. No, seriously, this that you're seeing right behind me, that's not a real fish. How creepy is this? What you just saw swimming around is a robot fish made by China. My question is, what are they making these for? What if we are being spied on from the shore? What if they have like GPS and satellite built into them and they can see what's happening miles and miles and miles above the shoreline? And if they can do this with fish, what else are they doing it with? Have you heard that theory that there's a bunch of birds that aren't actually birds, but they're more mechanical? Look at this thing. It looks just like a fish. Well, for starters, the general population can literally buy robotic flies. And by the way, there's been people who literally videotaped it who found flies flying around them that were robotic. PigeonBot is the first robot that can bend its wings like a real bird. If the news is saying it, it's been out for a while. For instance, there's a literal, legitimate website up called Pigeons Aren't Real. Look it up.
Shout out to Inspired by the King. That was deep. I never seen a robot fish. Sounds like a cartoon. It's crazy. Me and a friend were just talking about these pigeons actually being drones type, you know? Shout outs to New York. You know they got heavy pigeons out there. But yo, this is getting crazy.
Bro, do you guys see what's happening to the plant life in Cambodia? Look at this, y'all. Not just Cambodia, but look at the fishes in Vietnam. Look at this. Hundreds of thousands of fishes are being unalived in Vietnam, y'all. Check this out. Oh my goodness.
I feel so sad, but I don't know what to do. It is a natural disaster. I don't know how to keep the plants alive.
We prepared. We know about climate change. We stored water. We built roofs to protect our peppers from the hot weather. But it was not enough.
In Vietnam, hundreds of thousands of fish are dying. No matter how you look at it, it can feel like the world is on fire. This is the era of global boiling. So the obvious question is, how much heat can we stand? How hot is too hot for the human body? You see, humans are warm-blooded mammals. So we maintain a constant body temperature, that is 98 degrees Fahrenheit or 37 degrees Celsius. Our bodies are designed to work right at that temperature. If the temperature increases, the system begins to fail. After that, things get dicey because our bodies begin to cook in their own heat, and I mean it literally. For instance, let's consider living in 50 degrees Celsius, which is a new reality for many of us. This is more than 10 degrees above bearable body temperatures. It is toxic heat. So the body overheats, it works in overdrive to cool off. The heart kicks up its rate. The blood thickens, the water quotient reduces, the body begins to dry out, the organs start shutting down, the muscles lock around the lungs, and finally the brain is choked of oxygen. This is a heat stroke. Your body cooks to the point where you have multi-organ failure, and this is one of the many scenarios. Heat is a silent killer, and a selective one. For some, 50-degree temperatures can cause nausea. For some, the same amount of heat can trigger a heat stroke, and for others, it could even mean death. So why do some people suffer more? The answer is tied to socioeconomic status and resources. Those who work outside or suffer from health conditions are the most vulnerable. But we all need to protect ourselves because extreme heat is creeping up fast and we cannot change our circumstances as rapidly. So we need to work with what we have. If you have air conditioning, your solution is the simplest. Stay inside as much as possible. It is not ideal, but that's where...
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. This new sun, whatever they're calling it, the artificial sun, the simulated sun, whatever they're calling it, this thing is literally not playing around, y'all. It's not playing around. So y'all gotta do what y'all can to stay cool, man. Y'all gotta stay hydrated. H3O2. But yes, this sun is not playing, and it's not even summertime yet. Y'all see the fish in the ocean, they're going crazy, and apparently in Vietnam they're being unalived. Not just in Vietnam, all over the place, all over the world. A lot of fishes are just being unalived because of this heat wave. But again, you guys, this video is strictly for entertainment purposes only. I am only raising awareness to interesting situations during these interesting times. Like, comment, and share for more videos like this, y'all. Thank you for tuning to my frequency. Stay cool. Let's get this shift. Peace in.
Shout outs to Conscious Juice, keeping us up to date. Yo, I couldn't imagine going outside and it's 137 degrees. Like, whoa. At that point, it's time to move.
Hey you still think Mars is 140 million miles away? You also think they landed a Mars rover on Mars? Interesting. Well, if you don't want that ruined for you, keep scrolling. But for starts, this is what they're saying Mars' surface looks like. I looked up this place called Devon Island and the surfaces are kind of the same. You are not going to believe me, but this is one of the first pictures that popped up on my search engine about Devon Island. So what I did, I decided to go to Google Earth and type in this place called Devon Island because it seemed real suspicious, and you are not going to believe what I found. So you could do this yourself. Just go to Google Earth, type in Devon Island. Alright, bring this up. Alright, hit Street View. Zooming in. Alright. Just scoping it out. Four-wheelers. What is that? A NASA symbol? NASA? What? What in the... Mars 1? Moon 1? What in the... Well, guys, Mars is not that far. It's in Canada. Well, that wasn't enough for you. Check this out. NASA. What? Mars Institute. Right in your face, guys. Like, seriously, guys. The rocks are in the same place. Yeah, wind erosion. Like. But did you guys know? This book, Project Mars, written by Dr. Wernher von Braun, the father of NASA, in 1953, wrote about a guy named Elon that would colonize Mars? Come on, guys. Reality, NASA. And of course, all this was for entertainment purposes only. Of course, Mars is 140 million miles away. And of course, they landed a Mars rover on Mars. And that's not a rat. That's a rock that looks like a rat.
Well, they say a picture's worth 1,000 words. But I didn't know Google Maps could identify all of that. The camera got right in the man's face in front of his jacket. Like, yo, these satellites, boy, strong these days. I don't know, maybe they use similar environments to test the equipment, right? But man, Devon Island. Shout outs to Canada.
So one day, this guy's at work, and we'll just call him Digit. And Digit is operating a mechanical truck lift when suddenly his glove gets caught in the lift, and he pulls and he struggles to pull it out. And that is when the machine comes down and slices his finger clean off. Alright, but we'll get back to him. This story doesn't actually start with Digit. It starts with this woman, Ayala. And one night, Ayala is eating at Wendy's, and she's eating chili. And she takes a bite, and she suddenly bites down onto something crunchy. And she spits it out, and she looks at it, and it appears to be a human finger. And Ayala freaks the hell out. She starts yelling and telling everyone in the restaurant to stop eating because the food is contaminated. And she's screaming at the staff and accusing them of tampering with the food. And the store, it immediately shuts down. And they discard the chili, but they save the finger. They actually put it in the freezer. And then they call the police, and the police come investigate. But they're like, this is more of a health code violation. This isn't really police jurisdiction. But then 3 hours later, the story has already hit the local news. And then the news starts to spread. And then the next day, corporate representatives show up to the restaurant. Now, I don't know what Wendy's corporate representatives look like, so I'm just gonna represent them like this. So Wendy's corporate, they show up to the restaurant investigating, because this is a PR nightmare for them. And they're immediately trying to figure out if what Ayala bit into is an actual human finger. It is. And they're trying to figure out whose finger it is. So they interview all the employees at the store, they contact suppliers at the factories, but none of them are missing a finger. And within a week of this happening, Wendy's worst nightmare occurs. This story starts to blow up. It's all over the news, late night talk show hosts are making jokes about it, Ayala gets invited onto Good Morning America to talk about what happened, and she eventually goes and she gets a lawyer, and she files a lawsuit against Wendy's, because she's about to catch a big paycheck from this. Meanwhile, Wendy's is still trying to get to the bottom of this. They hire a forensics expert to test whether or not the finger was cooked with the chili or if it was added after the fact, and they determine it was added after the fact. They also find that there's actually no trace of Ayala's saliva on the finger, meaning she never bit into it. she lied. So Wendy's has all this information and they're like, this has got to be a hoax. So they contact the police with this new evidence. And then finally, police get involved and they start investigating. And to assist this investigation, Wendy sets up a free hotline and offers a $50,000 reward for any information leading to the actual owner of the finger. And sure enough, people start calling in, giving them information. And within a week, they get over 300 calls with people making all kinds of wild claims. But one of those callers claims that they had done business with Ayala before and that she was involved in some kind of real estate fraud years ago. So police hear this and they really start digging into Ayala's past. Now during all this, Ayala's still out there doing the media interviews, just enjoying the publicity, soaking up the attention. But slowly, after a honeymoon period in the spotlight, rumors about her start to surface. Like that all the evidence isn't really lining up with her story and that she has a history of filing lawsuits against big companies. In fact, it comes out that she had filed 13 different lawsuits in the past against Goodyear Tires and El Pollo Loco and against General Motors. And then little by little, the media starts to turn on her, questioning her story. And this gets stressful for Ayala because almost 2 weeks later, bam, she suddenly drops her lawsuit, saying the pressure of being in the public spotlight is just too much for her. And she immediately stops doing all these interviews. But by this time, Wendy's has had so much bad press from this, and sales are starting to slip, and they're losing revenue because people think there's gonna be fingers in their food. In fact, at this point, Wendy claims they're losing over $1 million a day from this scandal. So Wendy's is like, no, we're getting to the bottom of this. We need to clear our name. Then, around that time, out of nowhere, boom, police arrest Ayala. But not for the finger chili hoax. It's for the real estate fraud that police were tipped off about on the Wendy's hotline. And police also arrest Ayala's husband, this guy, Jamie. Because during that same investigation, they discovered that Jamie owed over $400,000 in back child support. Damn. And of course, Wendy's is super happy about this, but they still need to figure out whose finger was in the chili so that they can clear their name, and so that people will start eating at Wendy's again. So they go and they increase that $50,000 reward to $100,000. And that is where someone finally calls in with a lead. This guy, Mike. Now, Mike owns an asphalt business, and one day he calls into the hotline and tells them a story about how a while back, one of his employees had lost a finger. It had gotten caught in a truck lift and it was severed off. That employee is Digit. And about a month after he lost his finger, Digit brought that severed finger to work to show it off to the other employees. Like, hey, look at my finger. And one of the other employees who worked there at the time was Jamie, Ayala's husband. So Jamie offers to buy Digit's severed finger from him for like $100. I'm not making that up. And Digit agrees. And then Jamie and Ayala, of course, then use this finger to pull off the Wendy's finger chili scam. So police don't have to arrest Jamie and Ayala because they'd already been arrested, but here's her mugshot and here's his. And they charge them with felony attempted grand larceny, and she ends up pleading guilty and she gets sentenced to 9 years in prison, while Jamie must have been the mastermind because he was sentenced to 12 years in prison. And they're both ordered to pay $21.2 million in restitution to Wendy's. And the harshest punishment they got? Both of them are banned from Wendy's for life. Wendy doesn't fuck around.
He ain't lying. Wendy's don't F around. They delicious too. Shout outs to the real Ray Williams. What a story. Never heard that one before in my life. But man, 9 years, 12 years respectfully, and $21 million. Golly, where they gonna get that from?
People are fanatic about the Trump guilty verdict, but they don't understand that secured his presidency. It just brought more longevity that he will in fact be the last president. Right after the verdict came out, venture capitalist Sean McGuire donated $300,000 to Trump. But that's not all. His donation page went down from too many donations. Then they create a second donation page and it went down from too many donations. Yo, this is crazy. Who knows how many millions, maybe billions he has made just from getting a guilty verdict. And like I said, The Last President, the book we've all been looking to, assuming that Trump would be the last one. I stay away from politics or personal opinions, But I guarantee you, this face right here, let me zoom in. You are looking at the 2024 president. But either way, this book will fulfill itself and Trump is getting richer than ever before.
Shout out to Inspired by the King. Yeah, I'm like him. Don't try to get too much into politics. But this book, The Last President, I never heard of it. Very interesting stuff. $300,000 is a lot to donate in one pop. Then the servers broke down because too many people were trying to donate. So, to every cause there's an effect. This is just one of them. Whoa.
Donald Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts in a huge hush money trial. But can he still run for president? The short answer, yes. Trump meets all constitutional requirements to be the next president. Donald Trump will be sentenced in a couple of weeks and could face time in prison. Already the first in American history to be impeached twice. If elected, he could be the first U.S. president behind bars and would even have the power to pardon himself. The process could drag on for months, even past the November election, making the situation more complicated.
Definitely a complicated situation for real. Could you imagine him behind bars when the vote comes out? And if he wins, he could pardon himself? Bro, it'd be scorched earth when that man get out. As any man leaving the pen would be furious. Hey, just gotta stay tuned. One thing's for sure. November 5th, the power's in the American people. So I think this just made this election the single greatest election of all time.
I think it's a bunch of hooey. I'm going to vote for Trump either way.
Do you think it's fair that he's been found guilty?
I do. I think it's the rule of law, absolutely.
I think it was rigged, the whole thing. They didn't really have a crime for him. They just wanted him out.
Well, I believe Biden and his people or whoever must have made sure that this would happen before the election. I'm sad about the state of the court system. It makes me angry.
I think it's politically motivated. I think he's probably guilty of having done that, but I don't think it was something that was necessarily indictable offense. I think they're stretching the law.
I think he should go to jail. Anybody else would be behind bars. Cohen was behind bars. Martha Stewart, for doing something, kind of similar, was behind bars. And why is he special?
If I done it, I would be in jail. So if he done the crime, do the time.
As you see, it's split down the middle. And everyone's entitled to feel how they feel. I feel like the political scene is charged up. Like, election day is looking like WrestleMania.
Fire away.
It's a joke. It's very entertaining. Listen, he's going to get away with it and he's going to win. Watch November. Yeah? This is just a play. He's not going to go to prison. I know that's what you want, but it's not going to happen. Trump's going to win. You see all my black people, my Hispanic, what he did in the Bronx? That was amazing. That was a success. And I know that it's very cringy for you. He's gonna win. Trump is a Terminator. He's a cyborg. You can't stop him. You can do whatever you want.
But Joe Biden stopped him last time around, didn't he?
He's a 10-man walking, mate.
But he did, Oliver. I mean, he lost to Joe Biden.
No.
So you can't stop him.
This is a new Trump. This is a new one.
Watch. A new what?
Just watch. November.
What am I watching?
You're gonna cry. Listen. You can't stop this man.
What do you like about him?
He's invincible.
He's invincible so much that he lost the last election he ran. He's so invincible he lost to Joe Biden.
He's still there. Joe Biden
He's not,
is going to go to a home, nursing home.
Oliver, I'll leave it there. Thank you for your call.
That was Oliver and Harold. Shout out to the LBC. Sounds like they're overseas. But yeah, this is worldwide conversation right here. It's like the world is watching. It's amazing, man. It's an amazing time to be alive. At the end of the day, each day is exciting with something new. It's good to listen to the people sometimes and just listen to what everyone's saying. That's all I'm saying.
All right, Fabs, what do you think?
I mean, can't believe Lovett's missing this right now.
We have a convicted felon running for president. He is currently leading the race. Hopefully that changes, but that's what the American people are dealing with right now. Convicted felon. The man charged with executing the laws of the nation has just been convicted by a jury of his peers for breaking them. So that's where we are right now. Good stuff.
He was stone cold, didn't react whatsoever. There was no raise of the eyebrows, there was no shrug, there was no reaction. He sat there looking at the jury, looking at each one of them as they passed by, but never made a move, never muttered anything, never changed his expression. He looked almost deflated from my experience with him. But what a moment in history, and what an experience to see this happen in real time, and to understand that Donald Trump, this man who has lived his life basically consequence-free, was elected president despite everything that happened in 2016, is now running again, now faces the consequences of being held to account in a jury, held to account, found guilty of multiple felonies by a jury of his peers here in Manhattan.
He's found guilty. He's found guilty on the third count against him. He's a felon. He's a fucking felon.
That was hilarious. Mom was mad happy. Yeah, man. I'm seeing all kind of reactions. It's pretty amusing when you look at it, you know? Like, wow, people's emotions are strong. Some are angry, some are happy. I call it straight down the middle.
I can't believe the hoax, this sham, this absolute injustice justice system. D.A. Bragg and the judge should be ashamed of themselves. This isn't just ridiculous. This actually erodes the confidence that Americans have in the justice system. Unbelievable. Unfreaking believable. But good news is coming. D.A. Bragg, hear me clearly. You cannot silence the American people. You cannot stop us from voting for change. Joe Biden's injustice, Joe Biden's two-tier injustice system, weaponizing the justice system of the United States of America against a political opponent, un-American. Joe Biden, you're fired. We the people stand with Donald Trump.
Shout outs to Tim Scott. Never seen him so fired up. But yeah, the intensity is at an all-time high. Make sure you go rock the vote. For sure. It's important now more than ever.
And these Democrats will rue the day they decided to use lawfare to stop a presidential candidate. I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about tit for tat. You just wait, and it won't be Hunter Biden the next time. It's going to be Joe Biden. It could potentially still be Barack Obama. It could still potentially be Hillary Clinton. We're going to have to look at what the statutes of limitations are on the various crimes they surely committed.
Megyn Kelly warning Democrats that nobody's safe and Pandora's box is now open. Saying, tit for tat. No violence. Yeah, she totally was furious. I'm surprised by her tone. She's usually a nice lady. It shows that there's a lot of angry people.
Holy shit, he was found guilty. Holy mother. You suck. You suck. There is no justice in this country. He's guilty. Not guilty. He's not guilty. You pieces of shit. What the fuck? Eat shit and die. You're fucking corrupt, motherfucker. There's no justice in this country. It's all corruption. It's all fucking corruption. I have a message for you. You, Juan the Con. Juan the Con. I'm fucking pissed. You and fucking Joe Biden is one of us. He's one of us. And now they have only made the poll numbers go higher. I guarantee that's what you're going to see coming next. The polls are going up. Donald Trump is going to win even harder.
Shout outs to New York. Nothing but passion. Very emotional. Charged up. Never know, he could have had a few beers before Maybe a shot of something, you never know. But yeah, he was highly upset. Hey, I get it. But boy.
We have convicted a former president of the United States of America. We've gone over a clip. The question as to whether or not America will react to this, whether his numbers will go up or down, I don't know. But I do know what I know. And what I know is that this case is riddled with errors. It is reversible. It will not get through to the appellate division in the First Department in New York, or certainly the Court of Appeals before the next year. And people say, should it go to the Supreme Court? No, it can't go to the Supreme Court unless they exhaust all of the state court appeals. I've spent 32 years in this system, and I am totally disillusioned. You had a judge and you had a DA who literally campaigned on making sure that this president would be indicted. We've got an attorney general who did the same thing. This is a new era in America, and I think it goes against the ilk of who we are as Americans and our faith in the criminal justice system.
And that's a wrap. Hope you enjoyed tonight's rabbit hole. If you haven't already, please take a second
just to smash that like, subscribe, ring that notification bell,
just to make sure the algorithm knows what's up. So what are we gonna do, y'all? That's right. Run these numbers up. Thanks again. Until next time.